You just make yourself look sillier and more like a toothless dog every time you try to cancel Dave Chappelle, because it doesn't work, which tells everybody that if it's not working for him, it's not going to work for me. So why would I bother paying attention to what these people that are not secure in themselves, and one way or another, that's what it is you're not happy. So you're trying to make that everybody else's problems and make us all live under different rules that we just don't want to live in. And guess what? We're most of the population. You are a very, very small fragment of the population. So if you think that the rest of us are just going to bow down because you've said that this is the way that things are supposed to be, you clearly don't understand how the world works. Let's normalize firing people that don't want to do their jobs. What's up, everybody? Rivera here, the absolute best LGBTQ comedian in the world. Before we go any further, please do me a favor, like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help me on the algorithm. If you want to comment, but you don't know what to comment, just put a knife, because the LGBTQ community is definitely going to try to kill me. But I don't care. Let's go on with the video. Okay, a couple days ago, it was reported in Page 6 that some of the writers at SNL were boycotting because Dave Chappelle is going to be hosting SNL once again. Let me start off by saying, I thought that the writers of SNL had been boycotting, because that show has been horrible for a long time now. If those are actual professional writers, you might as well just let them go ahead and quit if they don't want to work with Dave Chappelle. And not just because they don't want to work with Dave Chappelle, but because that show has been terrible for a long time now. And why are we continuing to humor these people that don't matter anyway? So I'm reading about it. It says SNL writer Celeste Yim, whose pronouns are they, them. Okay, you're already ridiculous. Reportedly posted a message to their social media. Okay, I see that the media is playing along with it, going by the their instead of just being like her. Sorry, Celeste, but that's what you probably are as a woman. Your name is Celeste. You just want to feel a little bit fancy, feel like you're part of something that isn't the norm. All right, Celeste, I get it, but take your meds. That's what I'm going to say to you, Celeste. So let me just start over. SNL writer Celeste Yim, whose pronouns are they, them, reportedly posted a message to their social media story after Chappelle's hosting gig was announced. I'm trans and non-binary. Transphobia is murder, and it should be condemned. According to Reddit, it is unclear if Yim is one of the writers who said they won't work on this weekend's episode. You know what? I'm sure she was, and I don't really care. I'm so tired of these people that aren't based in reality, trying to make it hard for everybody else to have a sense of humor about the world we live in. Dave Chappelle is undoubtedly one of the best comedians of our time. If you're working on one of the most legendary shows in television history, and you're also given the opportunity to work with one of the biggest comedians of all time, and you somehow decide you want to turn that down because whatever it is you identify as, maybe you don't need that job. Maybe you need to work on your mental health all the way around and make sure that's completely taken care of before you're writing for anybody. If you don't know that show is terrible, clearly you need medication. If you, Charlene Yim, are one of the writers and you're like, I'm actually proud of the work I do here, you are delusional. Not to mention, being a they and a them when we all live as singular people has gotten on my nerves. And I know that it's supposed to stand for the non-binary, which is supposed to be part of the trans community, but some people don't feel like it's part of the trans community. I, as a gay man, am tired of this. So I can just imagine how straight people feel, having to humor a bunch of people that do not live in reality. How about you join us on planet Earth, and then we go ahead and consider your ideas? How about you get yourself to a position where you don't feel like words equal murder, which nobody ever talked about hearing a Dave Chappelle bit and was like, I'm going to go out and kill trans people now. I'm going to go out and kill gay people now. I'm going to go out and kill non-binary people now. Nobody's trying to kill non-binary people because nobody knows what non-binary people are. You might as well just say you're an actual unicorn. I'm so tired of these people, but let's see. This article goes on to say that SNL cast also includes its first comedian comedian who identifies as non-binary, Molly Kearney, who has not publicly addressed Chappelle hosting this weekend's episode. That's another thing. SNL, stop patting yourselves on the back because you have a non-binary person on the cast now. I'm so tired of people trying to make non-binary seem like it's an actual thing. I realize what non-binary is supposed to be. Non-binary can be a person that doesn't identify as either of the genders. Non-binary can be a person that identifies as both of the genders. Non-binary can be a person that's gender fluid. And non-binary just really isn't a thing. Because if you say you're not a man or a woman, that is impossible. We're all born either male or female with very few exceptions. Yes, there are exceptions. There are people that are born intersex. There are people that are born with different birth defects, malnormities that make it so that they are born with chromosomes that don't correspond, body parts that don't correspond, but those are severe outliers. So unless you're that, stop trying to bother everybody with what you identify as. Nobody cares anymore. That time has passed. The golden era of saying you're LGBT and having everybody bow down to you is 100% over. I know you don't want to believe it. I know you don't want to realize it. This is what, the third time that Dave Chappelle has hosted SNL since he was supposedly canceled? Lorne Michaels does not care about your opinions. Saturday Night Live does not care about your opinions. People are done humoring you. You're lucky people will even say the word non-binary anymore because nobody knows what it is, and furthermore, nobody cares what it is. This is what you have to understand, Celeste and Molly. Both women. That's one thing that we've been saying in LGBT for a while. There are a bunch of random women. I don't know why these women feel so ignored and like they want to be a part of anything, but it's really not necessary. And yeah, I get it if you say that genders don't matter. Cool. When I was younger, we used to call some people tomboys, the girls that did more traditionally boy type stuff. Those women, a fair amount of them grew up to be straight women. And guess what? They still didn't conform to what were technically considered their gender roles. There are men that like doing hair, doing makeup. Not all of those men are gay. They are not going with traditional gender roles. We've all accepted at this point that there are men that like doing girly things and girls that like doing manly things. But you don't have to make it its own identification because you want to feel like you're part of something. Identifying as non-binary, in my opinion, is as dumb as if you decided to identify as a bitch that doesn't do dishes. Nobody cares that you're a bitch that doesn't do dishes. We've all known a bitch that doesn't do dishes. Ask my dad. Just playing. My mom was a great housewife. I'm gonna get in trouble for that. And if you're truly part of the trans community, there's a chance that you're having to take some kind of medication right now. My thing is, if you're taking any kind of medication that's changing your mental state, stop trying to tell the rest of us the way that we're supposed to live. Maybe some of us have learned to regulate ourselves by not getting triggered by everything, by understanding that sometimes people are going to think differently than us, by understanding that we can go outside of gender roles. Because I've talked about that before. Technically, I could fall under the umbrella of trans. Seriously, I could identify as trans if I wanted to, because I would technically be gender fluid. And just because I haven't always presented in that way, which if you knew me when I was younger, you would know that I presented any way that I wanted to. Sometimes I would dress in things like skirts. Sometimes I would have long dragon lady nails, and I technically could fall under that umbrella. But the difference between me and these other people is I'm able to understand that I can still be the man I am, no matter what clothes I wear, no matter what my hobbies are. I can still just be the man that I am and have anything else that's going on inside of my head stay exactly that. And not everybody needs to know everything that's going on in my head or your heads, Molly and Celeste. There are times when it's okay for us to just be like, I don't care how you define me. What matters is what I think about myself. So you don't have to look to Dave Chappelle for approval or to say something that you want Dave Chappelle to say. Dave Chappelle is one of the greatest comedians of all time, and I don't know how many times he has to whoop the LGBTQ community's ass in order to make the point that he's not going to stop being him, and you guys aren't going to stop him from being him, because at the end of the day, Dave Chappelle creates ratings. SNL writers do not get any regular buzz. I can't even tell you, and this is an insult, I can't even tell you the last time someone talked to me about how great an SNL sketch was, or SNL SNL was. The only time people talk about SNL is when Dave Chappelle is on it. So thank your lucky stars, Celeste and Molly, that you both have jobs, because you're very lucky to be working in the entertainment industry right now and have this privileged existence where you can actually say, because I don't like that this person's going to be on, I'm going to choose not to work. So I say, let's normalize just getting rid of these people that don't want to do their jobs. If you don't want to do the job, it's not the job for you. Stop wasting everybody's time on social media and everywhere else, because as I said, that ship has sailed. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments, but as far as I go, that's what's going on with this. This has been Ty Rivera, the absolute best LGBTQ comedian in the world.